Something I look forward to as I'm getting older is as I age, I get wiser. And the more knowledge that I grow about how to become more at peace and how to center myself within the most happiness as possible, I feel like I'm on top of the world, and I almost feel prideful within myself to know that the little girl within inside of me that has been looking up to me this whole time, looking for answers, kind of feels like she is getting those, and I'm proud to give those to her. It's not like I do 100% every day, but I give my 100% every day, and that's all that I think that really matters. So during this winter, there are a few things that I've been doing to try and stay grounded within myself. And I know that a lot of the time there can be what is called seasonal depression. And in previous years, I would definitely say that I have gotten that, but I'm trying to stray away. And so I'm listing out 10 things about the winter that I love that you can't get during any other months so that I can stay within the appreciation of these winter months. Everything is so cold and chilly, but that doesn't stop me from being able to go out and still do things that I love to do, such as like going to coffee shops, libraries, bookstores, going on walks out in the winter, and of course, doing what I love, which is staying inside. In our generation, I think it's extremely important for our children, for our adults, for our elderly. I think everybody needs to do kind of like a self-focused mental health check-in with themselves every once in a while. I try to do this pretty much daily if I can, with journaling, videoing, going outside, taking a walk, focusing on the way that I'm eating, sleeping, drinking enough water, all of these things. It's a way to like get inside of my head, do some self-focusing, and I can better regulate my emotions. Not only is better for me, but it's also better for the people outside that I am going to end up projecting my emotions onto. And if I can do that out of love and out of a space of gratitude and appreciation, I would love to be able to do that. I can't do that if I don't take care of myself first. I have been doing a lot to try and stay on a routine of specific things to make sure that I am regulating those emotions. I feel like I have been making a difference not only for me, but also with the people around me. It has influenced other people to make better decisions, and that's really honestly the best that I can ask for. A simple life is really not bad. I think that being able to be calm, quiet, collected after doing the partying and drinking previously in other years, that is not something I really need to do anymore. I'm much more interested in reading, having crafts to do. I have a plethora of Pinterest boards stockpiled to the brim of different crafts that I can try, and so I'm gonna get to do that. I want to create a craft calendar, and what that means is each month I set up a different craft that I want to get started on, and that's what I do in my spare time instead of just scrolling on TikTok or watching TV or doing literally nothing. So either way, we're going to focus on doing things that are actually good for me. At the moment, touching grass is not satisfying. We are getting into learning how to do other things. Throughout this video, I want to demonstrate how I get things done, right? In my new space, in my new life. The girl that I want to be, who is she? Who is her? What does she look like? What does she do? And so I quit my Planet Fitness membership. No more Club Fitness. No more gym memberships. Now I go to Pilates and yoga, and I do workouts at home, and that's it. Or go on walks. There's no need for me to go in a smelly gym space and make myself uncomfortable. If I don't enjoy it, then I'm not gonna like it, and there's no reason that we should force ourselves, because there is definitely plenty of ways to get activity without having to make yourself uncomfortable, or if you don't want to be around other people, there is lots of options. Speaking of crafts, this is one little thing that I've been working on. It's like a little dish, I suppose, but it's gonna like just hold like earrings or like a necklace or jewelry or like little things, little trinket dish. But I covered it in Mod Podge and never touched it again. So that has kind of been my one problem recently that I need to fix and eradicate, is starting a project and actually finishing it. Before Christmas, I was doing all kinds of crafts to make things as gifts, and so I was like hustling and bustling it. And I parked my butt here on this couch and watched some TV and did my crafts, and it felt so nice because it also meant that I wasn't spending money and I was creating, not consuming, what I want to get back into. So I have this little trinket dish that I need to finish. I have another one exactly like it. Plus I made some like little coasters. I have this one, another one that's kind of shaped the same, and I have these two little baby ones that you can't really do a whole lot with, but maybe I can just paint them, and I think that they'll be cute. I had some seashells lying around, and I saw this on Pinterest, and I thought it was so cute. These are supposed to be little bumblebees, but they look kind of messed up, but it's okay. It was just for fun, and I had some of this like foil wrap that I put around the edges, so I thought it was cute with gold paint, and I think this one turned out maybe cuter, maybe a little bit better. Who knows? It's just for fun. Crafts doesn't have to be precise or perfect. It's just to get your mind doing things, get your body doing things, getting yourself creating and doing other things. See, this is the second one that does not have Mod Podge on it. This one thing I want to get a hold of is the self-discipline to actually sit down and finish things once I've started them, rather than just getting lazy, which I've not been lazy, I've been busy. Two different things. During my journey here, I have done a lot of research, and obviously your nutrition foundation is very, very important. Less carbs, less dairy, less processed foods, sugars, and more homemade meals. I've also noticed that whenever I do eat better, it helps my endometriosis so that I don't have as bad as flare-ups. And I think that that's incredibly important. So eating as many homemade meals as I can nowadays is extremely important to me. I try to stick to eating things that I know that aren't going to upset my stomach. I do things that are very, very easy on my tummy. When I'm trying not to stay in a consuming space, I like to do things that I know that are going to bring me joy. And one of those things happens to be making sure that my plants have plenty of nutrition, which is really honestly a better thing for me, because the more health that they have, the better H2O that I'm getting in my house, the happier they look. It honestly boosts my own mental health. And I think that just having plants in your space is a really good thing to like show how to keep up not only with yourself, but with other things as well. Personally, I have pets, so I think that these little guys keep me grounded more so than anything else. This is Moon, my cat. She just recently turned a year and some change. And believe it or not, she does like to try and eat dog food. And then this is Jade, which I've had Jade for many, many years. She is 8 years old, and these are my little kiddos. I tend to them more so than anything because they keep me literally on this earth to like hold myself down. I make sure that they always have food, snacks, water. I like to take Jade outside. Moon does like to try and run away outside, but I don't let her. So she has plenty of windows. But whenever I'm not taking care of my fur babies, I have my little plant babies, and I've been recently propagating a lot, and so I have been trying to focus on making sure that I don't accidentally forget to water them. I've honestly been taking so much time to be listening to my body, eat when I want to or whenever I need to, avoiding fast foods like whenever I feel the urge. I just imagine myself at home with the ability to nourish my body with food that I'm grateful for, food that I honestly paid really good money for, and it is better for me, and I don't want it to hurt me in the long run. And it really hurts my mental health if I do eat bad. So I noticed that the shift is a lot better, and my mental health feels so much better when I don't regret eating fast food. So I saved myself the trouble of it to the beginning, and I just don't even make that choice. So bloating caused by fast food or processed food affects my endometriosis as well. So I honestly, it's just best to listen to my body and my ego in that moment. And so sitting down, journaling out a good diet plan, a good mental health plan is so incredibly important for me. I love to journal, organizing my thoughts, sitting down in cafes, again, reading books, watching videos about the world and different spiritual practices, my painting and crafts and working with clay and working with my hands is so healthy for me because I feel like, again, I'm not consuming, I'm creating, which I personally believe is what we as humans were meant for. And I don't like it whenever my brain and my ego feels like it's flooding my emotions, it's flooding my mental health, and it's telling me I need to spend. Or if it's telling me that I'm not doing enough, I just try to block all of that stuff out and I go into a cafe or sit down somewhere and I just journal it all out. Okay, here's the stitch. We're gonna get ready for hot yoga. I got my tripod, which I'm not taking with me, and my water, which I've got to fill up. I'm actually like really excited for this because I took hot Pilates yesterday. I think I did it twice in a row the day before as well, and yeah, my body's a little sore, and yeah. Okay. Shit. I actually don't really have to leave for a while, but I really do need to check and make sure that the traffic's not gonna be bad. And people will back the highway up really bad. So we're gonna just take a precaution. I really should clean the yoga mat, but I don't have time. So I just pulled up and it looks like they literally just turned their lights on. I'm here 20 minutes early, or I should say 20 minutes before class starts. There is no necessary need for me to really go in for like another 10 minutes. So I'm just gonna sit in my car for 10 minutes. Better yet, we're just gonna sit here and reflect on the time that we're about to have and feel like we could just let everything go off. And so we're going to take this yoga class and align myself. I want to think about how I feel about everything and just like really get into it, get into a deep meditation of gratefulness and peace with myself, peace with my life, and just really appreciate all the abundance of my life and everything that I have, and release the ego. I really don't want to feel the nasty ego sitting in my back pocket anymore, and we're going to start being really grateful for everything that we have. It includes not really spending money on things that we don't need and doing things that are good for your mind and body, like yoga and Pilates, journaling, going on walks, eating properly, which is a big thing, and drinking enough water. So for the next 8 minutes, I'm going to sit here and drink some water. How Nelly when I tell you I'm sweaty. It was a really good session. I'm really excited. I'm really happy. I'm going to completely destroy our bodies with some food. And when I say food, I mean ramen, because it's the quickest and the easiest thing, and it's the only comfort food that I want right now. Do I have chili? I have some stuff to make chili. I do have a can of soup. Ramen it is. 6:30 on the clock. So it's still early, but it is pitch black outside. Woo, woo. I'm glad my camera's working. For whatever reason, the video wasn't trying to work earlier. I found this at Goodwill. It was $5, not even, but I've been purchasing like these kind of containers to put like lettuce, spinach, and produce in. I saw it literally as I was leaving, and I was like, it didn't have a price tag on it, so I just took it up front, and she priced it $5. So my produce does not go bad as fast because I don't like when my leafy greens of whatever sort sits in the bag and then it just goes bad. To Aldi, it was like right in the mix of like everything that I was already next to. So I got some things for this week that I was running out of. I got some Italian bread. I love these slices because I can just make sandwiches or like whatever I want to do. It's already done. I've got some eggs. Eggs were $5. I feel like I don't go through eggs that fast, so like that's fine. But I really distinctly remember when eggs were like $1.79. So whatever. This bag of ham was cheaper than these eggs. So hear me out. Y'all killed an animal for this. $2. And a live chicken shit these out and sat on them, and then $5. Okay, makes sense. Makes sense. Shredded cheese. I got some stuff to make chili. I needed some hamburger meat and chili seasoning, but I already had like the beans and everything else. So we got that. Okay. I've got some nanners and I got some strawberries. Tell me why these strawberries are so big. The earth does not give you strawberries that are almost the size of my head. Why are these all so huge? And like, I've been noticing that. These are literally ginormous. Look at these cute Valentine's hearts. I got these to make for me and my boyfriend. How cute. These are like some of the best cookies too. Like, we've been getting the ones since Halloween. We got the Halloween ones, got the Christmas ones. Now it's time for the Valentine's Day ones. I'm going to probably make myself a snack. I've got the bottom layer here, so if any sort of water comes out of these after washing, or water comes off of it after washing, then it'll just fall to the bottom and it won't like soak up all into the leaves. So I feel like it keeps it fresher longer. So I'm just going to kind of sprinkle in some of the I'm sprinkling in some of the mix of the mixed greens and the spinach so that I can just kind of use both. Now that I have all of this in here, I'm going to rinse it and then dump the water out. Doing this like in extremely real time and it kind of slid. I've never tried this version of doing a sandwich before. This has ham with shredded cheese like wrapped in there with salami, some iceberg lettuce, mayo, very simple. It actually is like really good. I enjoy it. I will say bread is probably easier just because I feel like I can get the grip on the sandwich better, but this is good. I keep my bell peppers in a jar after I cut them, and so occasionally they kind of get this little buildup and I just rinse them and then they're perfectly fine. This is the only way that I can keep them fresh for a long period of time. One of these like sealable jars. If you ever feel stuck during the winter, like you don't know what to do, if you feel like there's not anything to do outside, I recommend doing daily spiritual mindful practices within your own space, within your own home. Just doing some natural stretching, mobility practice is incredibly helpful and healthy for the spine. And you're opening up all of your chakras, all of your energy and auras are opening whenever you do these practices. Whenever I do these practices, I personally feel like I get to open up my mind the most. And yes, I do feel great getting in these stretches because I do let go of a lot of the pain that I have built up in my body. Whenever it's cold outside and you can't go on a walk or a run, have any sort of activity that you feel like you normally can because it's super icy, or if the temperatures are just too low, I think that this is a helpful practice. I get really itchy and restless whenever I feel like I can't move around a lot outside. So this really does just kind of help me feel like I'm not just sitting stagnant within my house. Also, this is really easy because you can just do it at any point in time. I think that if I ever hear somebody tell me that they don't have enough time in their day to even breathe, it really worries me, because you really do need to spend time, even if it's just 5 to 10 minutes, sitting in your room and doing a meditational practice or a stretch to open up all of your organs so that you can open up your chest, open up your hips, everything. It just really makes you feel so much better even after 5 to 10 minutes. And so I would recommend setting up a routine either in the morning, right after you wake up, or right before you go to bed. Set up a bedtime routine. I always get into bed and journal, chug a bunch of water, and either stretch right before bed or a couple of hours before bed. And I spend this time really just reflecting on the day, getting to be grateful, and having a look back at what I've learned from that day. If there was anything that I wanted to change, I can think about what to do for the next day. If I want to be more positive, if I want to spend more time looking outward with love, that is something that I usually like to look at. And I will sometimes get on the internet and look at like different things that I can write about, shadow work, or just writing prompts in general. I also like to focus on the moon cycles to see where we're at and to see how that's going to affect me personally. And then I just like to close it up for the night. Believe it or not, even though I'm actually laying in bed, I'm not going to bed. I will be here soon, but I'm not quite yet. I wanted to finish up the video. I just finished editing and I really kind of didn't like how I ended it bluntly. I wanted to go back through and re-edit. I did do a little bit of a nighttime routine and I thought about plugging that in as well, but I figured I'll save that for another video, because I think that while yes, a nighttime routine is incredibly important to your mental health, my nighttime routine is incredibly short and sweet. I wash my face, wash my teeth, and put my hair in braids. That's literally all I ever do. Oh, and moisturize. Those are literally the 4 steps. I don't do anything special. I don't have lots of fancy ingredients or brands or anything like that. I wash my face off with coconut oil if I have any makeup on. I use a gentle cleanser. And then I just use the most basic moisturizer that I could have found. I think it was actually Walmart. It wasn't the dollar store. But I really want to look into getting into doing some herbal remedies. Herbalistic facial cleansers and moisturizers. I want something that I actually know what it is going onto my skin, and using what the earth gave me, or what the earth provides for me, to clean my face and moisturize myself. Something tells me that whenever I'm 90, after using a cucumber to like basically keep my skin clear, that I'm gonna look so radiant and beautiful. It would have costed me so little. So I'm gonna wrap this up with saying thank you so much for watching this video. I want to start getting into doing them more frequently, but I don't want to force my content either. So we're just gonna let what flows goes. Thank you so much. I hope you have a fantastic week and look out with love and gratitude with everything that you do. Romanticize your life, because life is too short to not imagine that everything that you do is done with love, grace, peace, and happiness.